Coach, what would you say is the big difference from last year to this year? Last year this was the first event of the season. This season you got, a few games in. Just kind of what's some of the advantages and differences of that?
I mean, just kind of getting the first weekend jitters out of the way, and played a lot of people last weekend, 4-game series. Very fortunate that we got to play 4 with the way the weather was, and honestly, if it hadn't been opening weekend, there's no way we'd play Friday or Saturday. It was bad. So, just getting some experience before we come down here and face some great competition. I'd say that's probably the only difference.
How do you feel like y'all's hour 45 out here today?
We're pretty good. We're 5.5, 6 hour bus ride, throw your stuff in the hotel and got over here. So really just kind of getting used to the ballpark more than anything. We had a good workout yesterday, and Tuesday was our day off because we played Monday. That's normally our day off. So a little different routine this week, but just coming out here and just catching fly balls, it's different. The setting's different, the ceiling, roof, whatever, and I don't know. We'll probably answer that question more on Sunday when we leave.
I know Hagen's not a guy that you worry about too much. I'm just curious what you've seen out of him this week and just confidence in the bounce back.
Yeah, I don't worry about Hagen a bit. I made the comment last week. Someone asked me what I talked to Hagen about. I don't talk to Hagen about baseball much. I ask him about his dog and how his girlfriend's doing, and we just talk like friends. And he's an incredible worker, tough as they come. And hey, he didn't pitch good in the cold, and he had trouble gripping the ball. And now if he had a couple more outings like that in the road, I might get a little bit concerned, but I'm not concerned about him. His attitude this week has been great. I think he's just ready to get back up and on that mounted pitch.
Would you say that relationship with Hagen is unique, or do you have bonds like that with him?
No, when the guys have been here their third year, that's kind of the way it is. The first year, we're trying to figure out what they're all about. We see what we see on the field, but what are they like as a person? What are they doing away from the field? And what do they like besides baseball? And by the time they're a junior, we're talking about a lot of other things. And I think that's just the relationship process. And there's a lot of trust involved there. It takes a little while to build that up. And it's almost like dating, I guess. You got to figure it out.
What are some of your early impressions on Oregon State's arms and maybe the Friday night guy?
Really good stuff. Friday night guy's got a, big time arm. Good breaking ball too. And, we haven't seen him in person. All we can see is what we see in last year's stats or videos. And, we know we have our hands full. And, the difference between last weekend and this weekend is, and I mentioned it yesterday with the media back home, is going to be the velocity that we see. And we're used to seeing velocity because our guys throw hard. So it's not like we haven't seen it. It's just a matter of we haven't seen them. And, we've got to do a good job of taking advantages of some mistakes. If they make them, we got to score. If they don't, well, we're going to have to put together some good at-bats.
What about Oregon State's offense? I saw those stats. They're averaging about 3 homers.
Yeah. They have, I think they've only really been challenged in one game. I think maybe 6-4 Minnesota. You got 2 of their hitters on the cover of Baseball America. That'd probably tell you something right there. They got some big-time players, always have. Really the last 20 years, they've put out a bunch of big leaguers, and I'm sure that's not going to slow down anytime soon. The coach does a great job, and we're going to have to score. We're going to beat them because they're not going to get cheated at the plate.
If I saw correctly, they played here maybe yesterday.
Yeah.
Is there an advantage to be had for that, or is it just baseball which get out?
Well, we've played here a few times, so I think it could be a little bit of a disadvantage if you haven't been in here the first time you play. But hey, with this game, you never know how it's going to go. They have an experienced team. I don't think it would have mattered much either way. They're good, and they're going to be hard to beat.
Given how, sorry, go ahead. Just given how the last time you guys played Oregon State, obviously didn't end great. Do you have any thoughts about the rematch?
Not really. That was a long time ago, and that was a totally different year, different team, and they had a great team that year. I think they had 3 first-rounders, or 3 guys who were in the big leagues really, really quick in that lineup, and we probably played about as good as we could to get to Omaha in 18, and fought through that other division, and we really didn't do much against them. We just kind of won the first game because they gave us an inning, made some errors, and we did it really in game 2 as well. And then we couldn't hold the lead. We had to use a lot of our pitchers the day before, and it was obviously we wish we'd have won the game, won the series, but we didn't. But I guess that's about all we got.
One more question about Colin Fisher.
Yeah.
Just after his performance on Monday, is he a guy that you want to stick at the midweek? Or you plan on
you
using
probably
him
won't
again
see
this
him
weekend?
this weekend. Yeah, we'll probably throw him, next Tuesday against Grambling. One thing, we just don't want to pitch him too much too early, get him his proper rest and go from there. And, when conference play comes around, we'll make some more decisions on whether, we'll leave that Tuesday spot open and use him out of the bullpen, and it's a good chance that'll happen, or maybe even as a starter. We'll see. But he pitched really well last Tuesday.
I just have one more question. Jack Wagner, how do you expect? How do you think about him this week?
Yeah, he's been doing a good job. You'll see him either play first or DH one or two of the games this weekend.
What's it been like for you coaching for him to this point?
Well, he didn't talk a whole lot, kind of quiet. Players had a hard time getting to know him, and I work with the infielders, so I feel like I'm developing a pretty good relationship with them. And we've had some really good conversations, and one of them in the fall was I just asked him at practice one day during ground ball work if he was going to let me really coach him, and he kind of looked at me funny and he said, "Yes, sir." And I said, "Okay, I'd really like you to try some of this," because he's a really good player. He's got power, hit. He can really throw. His arm's accurate. But if he gets to the ball, he usually fields it. And I just want all middle infielders, all infielders to be, really care about the baseball. Don't be careless with the baseball. And I'm not saying he was doing that, but I wanted him to do everything right, and then in the game just go play. And he's really become a really good practice player. And then he takes it to the field every day.
We saw a few of these guys in left last weekend.
Yeah.
Just curious if you anticipate a similar approach for the time being.
Yeah, you might see a couple different guys out there. Flip a coin right now. They're all a little different. One hits right, got some power. One hits left, and more experienced player. And another one hits right that probably has been the most consistent and kind of a doubles hit. So I really believe they're all going to help the team. But it's a position right now that we're going to go with Jones tomorrow, and then we'll figure it out.
Coach, thank you. Thanks, Coach.
Okay,
See you later.
Coach, thank you.